For our classic review, we watched Fletch.
Fletch, which is a movie that I first heard of on Family Guy, where they had the Dyslexic Movie Film Association presents Felch.
Yeah. Yeah, and I heard about it actually watching Scrubs. The two guys on the show, JD and Turk. This is like one of their favorite movies.
You know what? Since both of them are kind of goofs, and yeah, I guess I can see that being the case. Like,
Yeah.
it feels in character for them.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so Fletch stars Chevy Chase as an investigative reporter named Erwin Fletcher, although he goes by Fletch because he doesn't like being called Erwin. And he works for like a very small time newspaper. And now, is the newspaper called Jane Doe, or was that his pen name?
That was his pen name.
Okay. He writes under the name Jane Doe, and he says it's better than Irwin. And the movie starts off where he's working undercover at this very rundown beach, trying to uncover a drug smuggling ring down there. And of course, he's trying to do his best to look like a drug addict, but I don't think he pulled it off well at all.
Now, I mean, even when he's Fletch, Chevy Chase can only play himself, really.
Yeah. He looked like a typical. Actually, he kind of looked like a typical person you'd see in L.A. or yeah. But as he's down on this beach, he gets approached by this young rich guy named Alan Stanwyck, who's played by Tim Matheson. Most people remember him from Animal House. He was Otter, the ladies' man.
And my favorite character from that movie.
Yeah. DB's favorite character. Yeah. And he goes to Fletch because he thinks Fletch is just some drug addict, and he's needs the money. So he's comes to him with a proposal that he wants Fletch to murder him. Because he tells him that he's dying of cancer, and his life insurance, he can't, he doesn't want to go through the cancer treatments and all that, slowly dying from it. And of course, he can't end himself because he has a life insurance policy, which prevents that from,
it doesn't pay off if you decide to collect early.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And so he comes with this scheme to murder him. So he has this whole scheme of how they're going to do it and everything. And of course, Fletch is like he agrees to it, but being the investigative reporter that he is, he knows there's more going on than what he's being told, and that basically kicks off the whole movie where he's he's trying to he finds out that Stanwyck isn't actually dying, and whole rigmarole of him, going around,
basically playing private eye without being a private eye.
Exactly. Yeah. And of course, also along the way, he starts to, in his own weird Fletch way, starts seducing Stanwyck's wife. What was her name? Gail. And then you have, of course, you have this other subplot with the with the drug stuff and corrupt police and everything. And I will say, I thought the subplot felt a little unnecessary.
Right. I mean, I guess it kind of explains why he's at the beach looking a bit disheveled. So Stanwyck would think he needed it or needed the money.
Yeah.
Or be desperate enough to do it. But I think that the actual plot of the movie is entertaining enough. I think where this comedy kind of fails is in the comedy, personally speaking.
Yeah. I'm going to be I'll be honest. I'm really not a fan of Chevy Chase just on his own. I like him better when he's got somebody to play off of, like Three Amigos, or even the vacation movies when he's got like he's either Beverly D'Angelo or Randy Quaid. Just him on his own, like it's just
Well, I mean, the thing is that the aura he always gives off in all of his roles is that he's kind of a self-involved jerk.
which is basically Chevy Chase in real life.
Yes. And so the thing is, self-involved jerk, you kind of need somebody to play off of.
Yeah.
Or the jokes have to be really top tier. And I can think of like two good lines in the movie, and they were both just and like they were both. I'll just tell them both right now. You could like tell me like if you think they're thigh slappers.
Okay.
So first one is he's at this country club as he's doing his investigation, and he is told that or he's pretending to be somebody's guest. Well, can I get you anything? I'll put it on the so and so's tab. Really? Okay. So take a beer and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich. like that one got me.
Yeah.
The other one is when he's busy seducing the guy's wife, and she finds out about the whole scheme. He says, "Hey, you've been through a lot. You should go lay down, and I'll fill you in."
Yeah. Go lay down on the bed, and we'll lay down on the bed together, and I'll fill you in.
That's it.
Yeah.
And like both of the lines were just kind of like nice, subtle. You had to think about them a little bit.
Yeah.
Which really isn't the comedy in the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I will say the other part that was funny, and I think it's the scene that probably gets mentioned the most is when he's in the doctor's office, and they're doing
Moon River.
River.
Yeah, when he's getting the colonoscopy.
Well, he's getting a proctology.
See, procto, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, why you using the whole fist there, Doc?
Yeah. But like most of the rest of the comedy, okay, so it's like if you're a comedian or if you have a comedic character like say Deadpool, you kind of, but you're also trying to do a semi-serious investigation movie. You kind of need the jokes that the character is telling not to like undermine your objective. Like he keeps quipping in situations where it's like, if anybody was actually paying attention, you just gave away that you're clearly not Dr. Rosenstein.
Yeah. Or when he's in the coroner, the coroner's office, and they're doing the taking all the organs out, and then he passes out, and then he's walking by the doctor, and he's got the paper bag, and he blows it up and pops it.
Right, making them drop some of the organs, and it's like. So I firmly stand to what Chuck, like I call it the Bugs Bunny rule because it's how Chuck Jones did the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Yeah.
Your comedic character that the audience is supposed to sympathize with. They should never be the one to escalate things, and like it should always be like proportional. So is it the doctor's fault that you came in dressed as a doctor and he asked you for help with the cadaver and you had to go along with it because of your mission? No, not really. Like that's kind of like the rules of the road. Now, if he'd like intentionally wronged him somehow, like I don't know, like I can't even think of it, but of a line off the top of my head, but. You get what I'm saying. It's just like, like it's never proportional. I wonder if part of that is just like the comedic stylings of a guy who, by all accounts, is very hard to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it occurs to me if you're kind of self-important like that, your comedic stylings and premises are probably going to be reflecting of that.
Yeah. And it's and if you don't know this, Chevy Chase has a history of being difficult to work with. I mean, I think he was only on SNL for a year.
I think he
in
got kicked off of Scrubs, or not Scrubs. What was it?
Community.
Community. That's it.
Yeah. And well, and I'll give you another example. Like when they made Three Amigos, Steve Martin and Martin Short formed a lifelong friendship when they made that movie.
That's true.
And Chevy Chase is like over here, you know. So
Two friendly people made friends, and you did not.
yeah.
But like I think just as far as the other thing that struck me as funny. Now, this movie was released about 6 months after Beverly Hills Cop, which isn't really enough time for one to like super influence the other.
Yeah.
Although then again, you do have things like Ants coming out before Bug's Life, even though Ants was the knockoff. So
Right.
if you know about behind the scenes rumblings, but like, this almost feels like Chevy Chase going, "Well, I want my own Beverly Hills Cop." Get the same guy who did the soundtrack for that one.
Yeah.
Get me the guy who's going to direct The Golden Child in a year.
Yeah.
Michael Ritchie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we talked about that when we were watching. We're like, oh, the similarities with Beverly Hills Cop. Although I think, if I remember the history of that movie, I think it started out as a Stallone movie. I think that's yeah. There's some weird like history with it where it was like a Stallone movie, and then and then it like the script that they did for that ended up turning into Cobra, the movie that he did, the cop movie. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It's something odd like that. But yeah, yeah. You wonder if maybe it was like one of those blacklisted scripts that got written and was floating around Hollywood for a while, and then then they finally made it, and and then probably did like either they took that script and then like split it with like Beverly Hills Cop and Fletch, or I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
It's very similar. These are based on a series of novels starring the Fletch character.
Okay.
The other thing is that this cover is mildly misleading.
Yeah.
Because it looks like he's going to be in the series of disguises. Specifically, neither of us remember the hockey scene at all.
Yeah.
I think it must have just been a passing fantasy of his. The basketball one was like this really long vignette in the middle of the movie where he was imagining, like he's a obsessive basketball fan, and he's kind of imagining himself as one of the players. And like the sportscast going, and this young youth from Harlem.
Yeah.
Okay, so the joke is that Chevy Chase is, in fact, not black, but his character in his fantasy is a young black basketball player.
Yeah.
You might go so far as to say he was born a young black child or a poor black child.
Yeah.
To quote a much better movie.
Yes. And hey, Ninja, good to see you.
Hey, man.
But yeah, and yeah, and the disguises that he did were kind of like it also kind of like didn't really land very well, especially when he was doing the mechanic one.
Oh God, that overlong scene, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, if I'm going to describe most of these scenes, it would probably be that overlong scene.
Yeah, and the editing I thought was really weird too. Like they were doing these weird cuts in some of these scenes. Like there's one scene that I think it's like after the whole thing with the doctor or whatever it was, and then they quickly cut to him sitting in an office wearing a completely different outfit, and he's got a band-aid in his nostrils. And he's talking to the father-in-law of Stanwyck, who's played by the oh God, what's his name? Kenneth Mars, who was in he was in a lot of Mel Brooks movies. He was in like he's the guy who wrote Springtime for You Know Who in The Producers.
Oh, okay.
And he was also the police constable in Young Frankenstein. But yeah, they cut to that scene, and I just like it just was really jarring. And then at the end of the movie, when they cut to the scene when he's breaking into Stanwyck's house, it was just like a real quick, like it was almost like there was something happening before that, and they just like quickly jumped to it. It was really jarring.
That I didn't pick up on, but that's probably because I was just mildly this is not a very entertaining movie, unfortunately.
Yeah. Although I can't, I really don't understand how this got a cult following. I guess it just, I guess it's like nostalgia, or you know.
I guess. Well, okay, so I'm going to say something kind of mean. There are a lot of assholes in this world, and it
Mhm.
occurs to me that some movies that just don't make sense probably are written to appeal to them as a core demographic.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, those are the three good lines of the movie, and none of them are that hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that honestly, I would have enjoyed that plot well enough if it was just like just have an actual PI character and take the plot a bit more seriously. Because yeah, it's got some interesting twists and turns. But it's a bit overcomplicated, probably because they were taking time out to have him. Again, like I just kind of emphasize how much he kept undermining his disguises with his need to quip all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Actually,
Dr. Rosenpenis. I'm sorry, Rosenstein.
yeah, yeah. Uh,
It wasn't
it's
funny. It
yeah,
didn't help your scheme at all. So it's like,
yeah. Actually, the movie that did it a lot better, they asked that aspect of like an actual PI who would use disguise, who uses disguises, was Who's Harry Crumb with John Candy.
I haven't
And good
seen
luck.
that one.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty funny movie. Good luck finding it though. I think I might have it on DVD, but it didn't get a Blu-ray release, and I don't think it's not streaming anywhere.
Huh.
Yeah. But that movie did the whole the PI different personas aspect of it a lot better than this movie did.
Well, I mean, it
And
does have the unfair advantage of having John Candy.
that's true. Yeah. um, the other thing too, so I was looking at Wikipedia, I'm looking at the box office. So this movie actually came out just before I was born. Um, May 31st, 1985. I'm June 3rd, 1985. And it came in second behind Rambo First Blood Part 2. It did 7 million its opening weekend, and it did 50.6 million in North America. Total of okay, just under 60 million on I don't know what the budget was, but I mean that's a pretty good haul. And it
That's only about like 8 or 9 million less than Fletch made, and it's not a total run around the same time.
which I was.
Oh, were you talking about Fletch? I thought you were talking about the John Candy movie.
Oh no, I was talking about Fletch. Yeah, Fletch
Okay,
did that. I
okay,
don't know what
my
the.
bad, my bad.
Oh no, yeah, okay.
Uh, uh, uh,
Yeah, I don't know what the John King. I don't know what who's Harry Crumb did. I don't. That if I remember right, like a lot of Candy's movies didn't do very well box office wise,
yeah.
sadly.
Now, I do find it funny that it just tells you how different the box office was then versus now, where it's like, oh, this was one of the top 50 movies of the year, and it's like, did they even come out with 50 main movies this year, like major movies this year?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, different time, I guess. But yeah, this movie's on Netflix. In case anyone's interested.
We've done such a good job of talking it up.
Yeah, I know.